Welcome back to another episode. This is Code Bruh, and we're going to be talking about how to get the man of your dreams. So I hope you got a piece of paper so you can take notes. Again, this is the number one podcast for women who need a sidekick and a voice for men. So now let's dive in to how to get the man of your dreams. This is going to be interesting because maybe this is going to change how you see things, how you see the way men think, and how this can maybe influence your direction in finding a relationship. Because the biggest thing that women don't understand is that they're so used to doing the same things over and over again, and they don't read on how to understand men, how to get a man, maintain a man, right? We just go off of what we already know or what we hear from friends or what we see in movies and shows, but this is not reality. So, I'm going to dive into three things that you need to help you get the man of your dreams. So, pay close attention. Number one, you got to work on yourself. There are so many women out here. It's crazy. As a man, from a man's point of view, there's women everywhere, right? In our phones and our social media, when we go places where we work, every single day. It's like the pick of the litter. It's so easy to find one, to sleep with one, to have one, to choose one, to look at one. And for women, maybe women, I know for a fact that women do not see men as much as men see women. Oftentimes we are looking at women intentionally. For women, I feel like you're not intentionally looking for a man. You're focused. You're in your own mind. You got a lot of things that you're thinking about. Men, we don't have a lot of things in our mind at one given time. We're not thinking that so much. We're not rapid pace in our brains. We're really just monotone, relaxed. We're just focused on one thing at a time. And it's true. Unfortunately, but for you, if you're looking to get the man of your dreams, you got to work on yourself. Women are not working on themselves. They're working on their body, their looks. They're trying to get a butt. They're trying to get big titties. They're trying to look pretty, get their nails done, hair done, superficial stuff that really doesn't matter, especially to a man's point of view, if you're trying to get the man of your dreams. Now, if you just want any man to have sex with, okay, of course, because you know why? Men, again, are looking for women intentionally. And so it's easy for you to get found or find one, especially if you're just trying to work on superficial stuff. But you got to work on yourself, your mind. This is what will attract a good man because good men are looking for a good woman. Not just a good body, but you got to have a great mentality. You got to have something that you're working towards. That is what turns on a good man. Right? Not just any man, a good man. Good men want a smart woman because they need a smart woman to help them focus and see things clearly and push them past the hurdles to their success. That is what good men want. They don't want just a good body with great pussy or great sex, because that is so irrelevant to their mission. So you got to work on yourself. You got to read. You got to study. You got to learn and pursue something. Not pursue any man just because he looks good or he got a nice smile or he got a nice body. That is superficial stuff, which in a later video I'll talk about that for you ladies. But for men, men are looking for a good woman that has a good brain. If you work on yourself, work on your mind, and work on your goals, you're going to end up conveniently finding a man that is on your level. That's number one. Number two is the environment and where you go and go picking for men matters. Oftentimes, women are in different places that are not found for good men. You can't find a good man in a bar. You can't find a good man in a club. You can't find a good man just walking by casually. You got to be intentional. You have to be intentional, kind of like a sniper who's on a rooftop, who's been there for 7 hours just waiting for his target. He understands that that man is going to be traveling on a particular bridge in the next 30 minutes. And he's already done the research. He knows that this is the bridge that they're going to take. And he's just waiting. waiting, just watching that road. And just 2 seconds, you'll see that person come right around the corner. And that's how you got to be, is you got to be intentional, knowing where to go. You got to have your plan and research and strategy. So how do you do that? Right? Because you have to think. A lot of ladies are not thinking. You're not using your brain on this one, and you're thinking that what you've always done is what was going to help you get to where you're going, but you got to do something new to get new results. You can't do the same thing over and over again expecting something new. That's the definition of insanity. So you have to have a plan. So where do you go? So you have to think on a grand scale. You have to see the bigger picture. If you are looking for a good man, again, in order for you to understand a good man, talked about it in one of my last videos. I need you to go back and watch it. It's 2 videos back from this one. It's about understanding where to find a man and how to be found. And you have to understand where to go. You can't go to the normal places. You have to go to places that find a man doing something grand. And it's not going to be the normal traditional places. It's going to be places that good men are found, like a library, you know, an airplane, but not just in the back row, in the first class. You might need to pay a little bit more to get there, but you get what you pay for. So if you want something great, you got to pay for it. So maybe you got to go to the front row, right? Museums, art galleries. This is where people spend good, big money. Car dealerships, maybe a Rolls Royce or a Lamborghini or a Maserati or a Range Rover, Mercedes. These are better chances than going to Honda or Toyota or in the back of the bus or in the back of an airplane, right? Going to the bar, going to the club. You got to elevate your thinking. You got to think differently, think grander. Think on a scale that what would you do if you had money? If you were doing well in life, where would you be? So you got to be your future self, not your current self, to find a good man. Right? Conventions, conferences. These are where places great men, great leaders, great people conjure in. And there's where you will find a good man, a higher possibility of a good man. Now, you might not always find a good man because, again, you are attracting that which you already are. And 2 episodes back, I dive deep into that. You attract who you are, which is why I told you, number one, you got to work on yourself. And number two, you got to find the environment and where you go picking, because that is what matters most. And number three, if you don't want to do all that sounds like a lot of work. You just want to be superficial. You just want to do what you've always been doing. And, it just sounds too good to be true. Maybe you don't believe it. I don't know. All I know is the truth. And all I know is what I would do, because I'm a good man. So I can tell you from a good man's perspective, because these are the things that I do. You don't find me in normal places. Very split seconds, you'll find me certain places, because obviously we're in life, right? You're gonna see me maybe in the street, in the road one time, crossing the road somewhere, at a local store, right? Because I need some gallon of milk or something, something crazy. But for the most part, majority of my time will be in my garage, in my man cave that I've built here. That I have so many things in here that that's all I need. My computers, my desk, my setup, my books, everything that I need. I'm at the house. I got a gym in my house. So you'll never find me if I need to go on an airplane, if I'm going to do a coaching or speaking engagement. I'm going to be on first class or at least business class or somewhere flashy in a nice hotel. Right? So if you don't want to do all that, if that sounds too much, too good to be true, okay, that's you. But then This is where you need to do the third one. And the third one is you need to create and mold a good man. You got to mold him into a good man. You can find, a regular man anywhere and you can make him great, but it's going to require sweat. It's going to require blood. It's going to require tears. It's for you to have the perfect picture, the perfect image of what you have been believing of what a good man is, what it takes to be a man. You're going to have to tell him what to do and tell him what you don't want and show him the ropes. And there's going to be a lot of back and forth. It's going to require arguments. It's going to require therapy, maybe depending on how bad it is. But that's what it takes to build something great is effort and energy and planning and molding, creating that what you desire. So if you find a man and you like him and he's partially good and he does all right and he's making a little bit money and he's good to you and he's trying, that's not bad. To most women, that's considered a good woman. I'm sorry, that's considered a good man. You know what the hell I'm talking about. That's considered a good man, right? That's a good man right there. But then you got to make him better. So you got to write down what is a good man to you. What does that mean? Again, 2 videos back, I dive deep into that. So go ahead and watch that, listen to that podcast because it's highly important. But for now, how you get the man in your dreams is you got to work on yourself. You attract who you are. The environment and where you go matters. And then you have to create him and mold him. So what's the conclusion here? To get the man of your dreams. The man of your dreams. Your man will find you wherever you settle. Your man will find you wherever you settle. What does that mean? Good men aren't found because they're not looking to be found. But if you find a good man, it's got to be in a good place. And he'll see you, especially if you look good. But if you just look good and you haven't worked on yourself, he's going to find out after you've had sex with him. He's going to realize that you're not that great. So what I'm telling you matters. It makes sense. You want to cover all angles. To not just get a good man, but to maintain a good man. That is what matters most, is maintaining a good man. Where you are matters. Your man will find you wherever you settle. So settle in a good place. Settle in a place that makes sense to grow from. So if you're not there, that's okay, but don't rush the process. Trust the process. Work on yourself. Be ambitious. Be goal-oriented. Focus on you. If you focus on you and you don't go out looking for it, you will immediately attract it. Only when you give it off the amount of energy that it takes to attract something bigger than you. And that bigger than you is the goodness that I'm talking about. So, if you enjoyed today's podcast, thank you so much for joining me towards the end. I'm going to be available on Instagram. I'm going to, at some point, drop the link where you can go ahead and ask me questions regarding your relationship, regarding what you think, certain things that you're working on, and what you need help with. I will be there for you because, again, this is Code Bra, #1 podcast for helping women who need a sidekick and a voice for men. Thank you so much. This is your boy Jeremiah King. Until next time, I'll see you on the next one.